Ben Johnson on why he stayed in Detroit. I had a little conversation with Tim Twentyman. Talked about his progression, as a coach, and quote, "Don't ruin a good thing. It's kind of a lifestyle. It's something to hold on to." And my takeaway from it, really the whole conversation, Jeff, was this is a guy who knows how good he is, but who was there during the Patricia era. And he's seen all the hardworking people in the building and the fans still showing up and all the talk. And he knows he can be part, potentially, of a football team that ends the drought of division titles, that ends the drought of not only getting to the playoff, but winning a playoff game. Haven't won a playoff game since 91, the division since 93, 94. So he sees an opportunity to give back to a franchise that has given him an opportunity, which he obviously has taken advantage of. He deserves full credit for it. But I love it. I love the empathy he's shown. And I'm so confident in him going into next year, Jeff. I mean, what a home run he's been.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest, positives of the offseason. And you could say Ben Johnson, he's the second best Johnson in Lions history. I mean, we already made that declaration. And the quote in the interview that I absolutely love, there's two of them really. One of them, Ben Johnson says, "It's really simple for me." And he said, "It starts with this place and these people. Been here for 4 years now. I believe in Sheila Hamp and what she's doing. Rod Wood, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes. It starts at the top and trickles down." He said, "This is as encouraged as I've been in my 4 years with the direction of the Lions and where we're headed." And he kind of mentioned also in that story and how he went to a Garth Brooks concert at Ford Field during one of his first off seasons in Detroit, coming over from the Miami Dolphins, being in Ford Field at that concert. It was packed, and he's thinking to himself, I can only imagine a home playoff game here at Ford Field and what that would mean to the city. And not only the fact that he talked about the organization, ownership, leadership, which is huge. We don't typically hear that. Usually it's the opposite. You're criticizing the ownership or the leadership. But he also mentioned how he wants to be here when there is success. And I think that's the most significant part of this entire thing. And I've hammered this multiple times, but I got to say it again because it's so important. Assistant coaches and coaches in general, you typically come to the Lions and that's it for you, typically, in terms of being another head coach. It's very hard. I mean, you've seen previous head coaches for the Lions. They typically don't get another head coaching gig. Or you look at assistants like Jim Bob Cooter. He was the OC, hasn't been an OC since. Like, these things typically happen. But for Ben Johnson to kind of break that curse in what he's meant to the organization, the interest he's drawn from NFL teams, he had a lot of leverage this offseason. I don't know what the likelihood of him getting a job was, but I'd say it was probably high this offseason.
I'm telling you right now, two teams.
The fact that he chose to come back, man, that's huge.
I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact 2 teams hired their second and third option.